trashed up. You paid for it already.
Amen. Good job.
I think, like Tony said, appropriations is very important. The reality is that if we all got what we wanted with infrastructure, other projects pertaining to things like homelessness and things of that nature, taxes may have to come up, right? That's the honest answer. If we wanted to get everything we wanted, sometimes taxes may have to go up. Now, I think that an excuse that public officials oftentimes use is that there's no money to do this or there's no money to do that, which may not be true all the time. And I think what's important is that as public officials, we have an open and honest conversation with constituents about what's possible and what's not possible. And if there has to be something to be done to raise taxes, we should keep folks abreast about that. We should let folks know that, well, in order to do this, we have to do this. And I think including them in the process would sort of lighten some of those tensions.
Could you repeat the question for me? I'm not sure I got that.
Oh, sure. Given the long lead time of increased development in the revenue it brings, how can the city provide services and maintain infrastructure without raising taxes?
I think that we need to use our money more wisely, our tax money more wisely. I think it does our county and our city a great disservice when we have one of the highest rates of taxes in the state of Florida. We're not going to attract businesses and we're not going to attract homeowners. And I think one of the things that we're going to need to do is tighten it down. I would like to see our taxes in line with everybody else in the state. There's no reason for us to have this enormously high tax rate for so long, and I think it's harmful. So that's really my answer. I think we need to fix first impressions of our city in order to raise the value of everything in our city. We cannot stand before these blighted areas anymore. People come here and wonder why we have all these blighted areas and our tax rate is high. So that's a big question for me too.
Okay, so Mike, you want to take this one?
Sure.
This is the last question. The past is past, and we are where we are. Going forward, what should the city's role be in addressing the plight of homeless?
I knew this was a homelessness question. I think that the excuse right now, if you will, is that that government has no part in taking care of solving the homelessness issue, which may or may not be true. And to be honest with you, I really don't care. These are human beings we're talking about, right? And so I think that the city's role should be in bringing people, power players to the table, in developing a solid plan to move forward, right? Now everybody seems to be up in the air, right? There's initiatives like when I spoke about at the last forum, where we can sort of implement a day labor initiative that would allow folks who are just looking for work to be able to clean up some of the trash areas in our community. I think we have to, and we're having, I can't remember the name of the shelter that's being built in Daytona, the Hope Place? Yeah, I mean, if we can have a sort of, that's going to happen, so that's a resource there. And I think that we should really be proactive in having more public conversations and keeping folks in the loop of what's actually happening and what we plan to do and producing that project, whatever that will look like.
I would say for months and months, we've talked about the homeless issue. It's here, and it's not going anywhere until we move forward and decide what we need to do. I think what's most important is that we need to bring all of the stakeholders, all of the people that we've helped as a city to the table and decide what role are they going to play and identify their role. I think identifying what responsibility each municipality and each stakeholder is going to play in helping this homeless situation will probably help us to come to a one decision on where we need to go, whether we need to have a homeless shelter, what size homeless shelter we need to have. Who's going to fund the homeless shelter and how much money are they putting to fund that homeless shelter, and looking at how to operate it. But you got to realize that all of the services, unfortunately, all of the human services that are offered, all are right here in Daytona. So what do? They dump everything right in Daytona's lap and say, you do this, you do this. No, we don't do it. We'll help solve the problem when you all come to the table with us and help us to solve the problem, because you helped us to get it, you helped us to get it, and then one person needs to be the fundamental control, and I think the county needs to take that initiative, and they need to be the ones that's leading this homeless issue for the whole county that's affecting us all.
Okay, I think this is going to be an issue that will, if any of us get elected, that we will still have to deal with, because all I have seen is a lot of talk. No matter what is offered, everything is put down. We do have all the homeless services here, but one city alone cannot salvage the solution for the whole county issue. We need the county to get on board. We need other cities to get on board. Instead of citizens coming here from Port Orange and from New Smyrna and telling us once again what Daytona Beach should do, we should be going to them, telling them what they need to do as well to help us. I believe that we need a shelter. I would like to see it built after the Miami-Dade Trust in Miami. It's a wonderful example of how things can work. We need to figure out a funding source. We need to hold social services accountable. We don't know what they're doing with their money at this point. And we need to know what they're doing so that we can move forward. Some social services have done a lot better than others in helping us with this problem. But I definitely believe we need to do something and stop all the talk and just let's move on. Hopefully there'll be a change on the county council and they will see that we need their help as well as them needing us to help, and we'll be able to work together. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. So the next questions are all by show of hands. So if the answer is yes, put your hand in the air, please. Is the city manager providing good leadership, good service, or making good decisions for local government?
Just raising my hand for yes.
For yes. Okay. That's a quiet one. Okay. Should it ever happen that the city hires a new manager